All right, I hope everybody's having a great night. Now, there's been a lot of stuff going around about Lil Wayne not getting the Super Bowl performance in New Orleans, and truthfully, he didn't deserve it. Lil Wayne, if you ever looked at him, and if you're around my age, if you're like an older millennial, if you look at Lil Wayne and you look, just look at him, look at his skin, look at his eyes, look how he talks. Yes, Lil Wayne has always talked slow, but there are times you could barely understand anything he's saying. And in fact, in some of his concerts, you could see him taking a break and taking a drink of a purple drink. So Lil Wayne was not up to par for this. Now people are getting confused with nostalgia of Lil Wayne from like 2003, Wayne in 2010. Hell, I even give him maybe 2015. But as of right now, all his uh, use of illegal substances, all his traumas he never dealt with has finally caught up to him, and he's not the way old. And in truth, I don't think he should be really worried about a Super Bowl performance. He should be worried about getting into rehab and getting help, because if you look at him, he just looks like an addict waiting for something tragic to happen. And I hate to say that about somebody who has accomplished a lot in music. Now, has Wayne been a good influence at all when it comes to setting an example for the black community and standards for how a man should be? No, he has not at all. And if anybody says anything different, I see what side of the fence you stand on. But even Lil Wayne doesn't stand with us. But I'll get into that too. So the big thing going on is that they're saying that Lil Wayne didn't get the performance because of Jay-Z. They said because of Jay-Z's beef with Drake, etc., etc. But the one thing about Jay-Z, similar to Wayne, he did start off in the streets. But unlike Wayne, Jay-Z actually grew up in the streets and didn't become famous until he was a man. Lil Wayne started off in the streets allegedly and became famous and started rapping around. Well, he started at 9. I think he got famous around, or started getting more popular fans around he was 11. But Jay-Z is a businessman at the end of the day. You see, Jay-Z made moves to grow. He made sure he married the right woman, or started dating and marrying the right woman, put her in place of popularity and fame and influence. In addition to, he has made changes in his own personal life, the way he dresses, talks, and carries himself, and be more of a poor black and standing with his community. Now, when you look at Wayne, he has done none of that. He has stayed in that same little corner that he crawled out of for the most part. Who they normally support politically, they normally support Democrats for the most part. Give me 1 second. Error occurred. Use keyframe. Oh, I'm sorry. Give me a second. Okay. Okay, widget. Okay, there was something going on with my stream, but I guess it's figured out now. We'll just go from here. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, the whole entire Jay-Z thing. Jay-Z chose to grow and build himself in certain circles to make sure that he could have influence, like being able to say who can perform at the Super Bowl, compared to Wayne has not done anything but continue to use the substances that's ruining his mind and his brain and his legacy. Now, the main reason I say this, I really do believe that Jay-Z is more money focused. He's going to do the best thing to make sure he gets the best money out of any situation possible. Let me see. And to prove this, he helped Lil Wayne out with a tax debt, something he didn't have to do at all. Now, when it comes to taxes in general, that's a scary thing, because people get locked up or you have liens and stuff. They lose their whole entire livelihood over the government taxes. Now, Jay-Z didn't have to do that. But also, look at this. A picture says 1,000 words too. You see Jay-Z dressed up in a suit, looking like he's a businessman. Compared to Lil Wayne, looks like the same guy from when he was and Young Money. Like I said, Jay-Z grew up immature and Lil Wayne never did. And I'm getting no more examples about that too. So when Jay-Z is sitting in these business meetings in these rooms talking about what artists he wants to perform, and he may throw out Lil Wayne's name out there because, again, at the end of the day, Jay-Z is more about the money compared to anything else. Nobody want to be associated with Wayne. If you really think about it for a minute, if you look at a lot of old Wayne interviews and just news articles about him, you see how he was almost unalive himself for taking too much lean. How he got arrested multiple times from 2008 up until 2019 for having hardcore substances on his bus or plane or weapons that he shouldn't have. Then you have allegations from a stalker woman. I didn't put anything too much in there because it was this allegation and she kind of disappeared. I don't know what happened to her. I think her name was Rose. And it just goes on and on when it comes to Lil Wayne. But here's the thing, though. Let me take this down.
There's people like Jay-Z. You know what I mean? He helped me when I was really down. Really down. There's people like Swiss Beats that's gonna send me every beat he make and want me to rap on every single one until I got my situation straight. He don't want me to talk about it, don't want me to tell nobody, Jay don't want me to tell nobody. That man helped me with my tax. These are real friends, y'all. Shout out to my nigga Jay, shout out to my nigga Swiss, shout out to my brother Chance.
Now, in that instance, he talked about Swiss Beats and Jay-Z helping him out, right? He didn't mention Nicki. He didn't mention Birdman. He didn't mention Drake. And these are the main people that are screaming at the top of their lungs about being at the Super Bowl. You know why they're really screaming at the top of their lungs about being at the Super Bowl or Wayne being performing at the Super Bowl? Because they know they will never be able to perform at the Super Bowl again if Wayne does not get on there. Think about it. That's the largest stage in the United States that somebody can perform on. I'm not going to say the world. This is the United States. And they could able to squeak in by Lil Wayne. Then they know they can live out a dream that most people have. Now, does Lil Wayne have a long enough resume to perform at the Super Bowl? Absolutely. Wayne 10 years ago could have went to the Super Bowl and killed it. Wayne today cannot do it. And nobody wants to be honest about that because they want to stick in that whole entire mindset of how Wayne was back in the day. And take a look at this for a second. So you mean to tell me you're going to go to the Super Bowl? And this is on StubHub. I pulled this up today. So you're going to go to the Super Bowl. And you see these ticket prices, right? You see ticket prices at the very cheapest at $5,619. And StubHub only has so many places you could buy tickets at. So it either means the places are already sold out or booked up by other ticket places, or you could go directly. I'm not sure. I didn't look it up. I just want to go to this one place because I knew they already had tickets for sale. And the prices go up $6,600, $7,551. Those are some expensive tickets. And it keeps going up from there. $9,158. Prices still keep going up. $10,406. Prices still keep going up. Now, you mean you want to tell me you're going to pay $5,000 to $12,488 to see an addict who's not in recovery, who haven't got any help? $16,150. The price is still going up. Now you're starting to get in people's yearly salaries. $22,061. Price is still going up. $41,625. I think the most expensive is $45,788. Some people don't even make that in a year. And you mean to tell me you want Lil Wayne to perform for somebody who spent a year's salary? And that's just for one seat. Nobody really goes to the Super Bowl alone. They normally take a family member. So if you got like two family members, that's over $90,000, $91,000 right there. A husband and a wife. Then you want to take a kid, then you're over 130. And that's what I mean. They want to be able to have somebody they know is going to put on an amazing show and draw in. Now, Lil Wayne could have earned that spot at the Super Bowl, right? But then you saw some of his performances, and I'll show a little bit. Well, I can't talk right now. It's kind of late. I'll show a little bit of that later. But another thing that kind of hurt Lil Wayne is this interview right here.
Everybody wants to go home.
But outside of a jail cell, his celebrity status has clearly shaped his perspective. Recently stirring controversy on Fox Sports when he said he personally doesn't see racism because so many of his fans are white.
I thought that was clearly a message that there was no such thing as racism.
You know, I'd like to see Shannon Sharp interview Lil Wayne. That'd be kind of interesting.
There was a lot of backlash from people about that. Would you change it, what you said, or you still feel the same way? What's your thought on Black Lives Matter?
What is it? What do you mean?
The idea was that there's this movement called Black Lives Matter, thinking that the rest of America didn't seem to understand that Black Lives Matter.
It just sounds weird. I don't know that you put a name on. It's not a name. It's not whatever. It's somebody got shot by police for a reason. I am a young black rich.
Got shot for a reason, right? Isn't that crazy?
If that don't let you know that America understands Black matter these days, I don't know what it is. Don't come at me with that dumb man. My life matters, especially to my.
And the thing about Lil Wayne is that he's a perfect example of somebody who's intelligent but not wise.
Do you separate yourself from it?
I don't feel connected to a damn thing that ain't got nothing to do with me. If you do, you crazy. You connected to this flag right. Because I'm connected. I'm a gangbanger, man. I'm connected.
Now, he said he's a gangbanger. And keep in mind, he's been performing music since he was 11. I really haven't heard of too many. That's when normal people join gangs around that time, right? Really young. But when we have opportunity to gangbang anything, I'm being serious with that. Unless he's like the gang's bank, what has he gangbanged? He's an addict and a music performer. What has he gangbanged?
He ended our interview angrily. Lil Wayne is in the business of making music.
So, yeah, I know that's not me saying that, you know, he's just an addict, but in a bank. But that's essentially what he is. And, you know, the time for Wayne to sit there and show that he really wanted the Super Bowl and that he really wanted to do, to take his music seriously, was for him at the Essence Festival. I didn't play the music because I wasn't sure it was copyrighted, but he was very offbeat on that. And he just looks like he's kind of lost. And again, this is Wayne today. Very this nonchalant, kind of lost, can't understand him. Doesn't really seem to care or take it that seriously. Compared to Wayne 2003, Wayne 2010, 2015. Wayne was a beast out there. Wayne was a beast out there. I would say he was a top performer. I don't even care too much for his music, but I can admit Wayne was a beast on the stage back in the day. That's just not him now. Go further.
I need your hands up! Hands up! I need your hands up! Hands up! Let's go,
I'm a millionaire, I'm a young money millionaire, tougher than Nigerian. My criteria compared to your career isn't fair. I'm a venereal disease like a menstrual noodle and leave on the sheet of the television. I don't write because I ain't got time.
It's hard for me to sit here and care about this Lil Wayne situation. It really is, because if you sit here and truly think about it, And we stop thinking with our nostalgic minds, from the minds that we see Wayne, or the viewpoint we saw Wayne when we were younger, grew up with Wayne. Because many people who are talking about this are people from Cash Money and people who just don't know any better. They're just going to love Wayne no matter what. He could sit there and just pull a Pootie Tang. If you remember the movie Pootie Tang, how he was making a new song, and he just like took all the audio, the instruments, everything out of it. It was just complete silence. Everybody still love it. That's how I feel like Lil Wayne would do if you just put that out and say those. By the way, they just heard him breathing in the background. Those Lil Wayne fans are going to sit here and say, yes, he does deserve this. It's in New Orleans, yada, yada, yada. But again, Wayne doesn't deserve this. And look at it like this. You have Wayne. And you got to think about it. Super Bowl has a lot of big brands associated with it. And here's Lil Wayne's resume. Arrested multiple times for hardcore, you know what, drugs. Claims to be a gangbanger. Okay? Not to mean major brands want to be associated with gangbangers. Right? And then you got his crew with him. Oh, and then he's a Trump supporter on top of that. Don't forget, he loves Donald Trump, which I think is pretty interesting. He says stuff that racism doesn't exist. He defends police officers. I understand on some viewpoint why he does, because he got shot in the chest. Or excuse me, he shot himself in the chest. But again, Lil Wayne has not shown anything that would be like, you know what? This is it. This is the next guy I wanted to show at the Super Bowl. And then you guys associates that almost like try to come up there, Birdman. Birdman is largely problematic. You saw how he tried to do that intimidation stuff on the Breakfast Club. He pretty much used Lil Wayne his whole entire life. Because let's be real here, Birdman wouldn't have nothing about Wayne, because Birdman is largely disliked, uncharismatic, and not popular at all. The only reason he got anything was because of Wayne. That's it. If he didn't find Lil Wayne, somebody else would have. But that's just the truth. Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj over here beefing with people that she don't need to be beefing with. However, though, her husband is the main issue there, because rap beefs happen, right? Let's be real here. Kendrick and Drake had a great rap beef that elevated the game of rap. But then you have Nicki Minaj's husband, Kenneth Petty.
I don't know what he does for a living. I just know that he did time in jail for, he's a sex offender. Well, she's no stranger to that, because her is in jail for
sex offending.
For sex offending. Well, first-degree manslaughter. Now, he served 7 years in prison, and he's also a sex offender. So that means that is a manslaughter a killer? Oh, that's okay. So he's a killer and a sex offender. Well, Nicki, congratulations.
And I cannot say it any better myself. It's just like, okay. So who you marry helped dictate your legacy. So you're like, oh, okay, so Nicki Minaj is okay with a man who had done this stuff. And again, we saw the interview recently that went all over Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, about his interview with the police when he assaulted that girl. It's kind of like, okay, there's no defending that. And then her husband, Kenneth Petty, doesn't make anything.
Yeah, sturdy nigga, what's poppin'? What's poppin'? What fucking money, man? What's up?
Yeah.
What's that, man?
Yeah.
Huh?
You don't know niggas. They said you.
You know, and that's still threatening Quavo, Cardi B's husband. I'm not a fan of Cardi B or Quavo, but dang, I would think there was some things you wouldn't post online because you got a wife that makes the money in the house, because clearly he doesn't do anything but sit here and act like a damn fool.
You don't know niggas.
You're on vacation,
Yeah.
you planning your funeral, pussy.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the way to the street, nigga. Everything,
The man is out on probation threatening another man over nothing, really.
Hey, let's play. What's up?
We'll meet you there, nigga.
Let's get it.
Let's meet you there, nigga.
That's
the start of this life.
Going, man.
We'll meet you on your vacation, nigga.
That's a fact.
I got big two outside.
I'm just curious why these grown ass men ain't inside with their families. Do something else. Leave this outside stuff, throwing stuff to the young people who still need time to learn. I think ideally, if you if you spent 7 years in prison, you had time to reflect on your life and try to be a better human being. Not this shit. I'm not this stuff right here.
They wanted to come at me at the VMAs, man. We ain't even do nothing to nobody, man. Man, what's poppin', man? What's poppin', man? Nobody hiding around here, man. Yeah, outside, man. Always up. Yeah, we ain't ducking action, nigga. We ain't.
You know, there's two types of strength, right? There's the chaotic, destructive strength, where you just want to always prove yourself, always want to fight. And there's the strength to reserve yourself and know when to stop and just think about something and try to approach it a different way. People who normally do the chaotic stuff, yes, they get the short-term attention, but a lot of the time they end up having horrible consequences to where they end up losing their livelihoods, if not their lives. And you would think, again, a man who has taken somebody else's life, a man who has spent 7 years in prison, that he would know better on some way, shape, or form.
Ducking action, nigga. We ain't ducking action, nigga. Man, what's up, man? Good morning, man. This shit, nigga. Keep playing. Yeah. All y'all bitches in this shit. Let's play, man. Y'all want to play? It's all funny games, so we want to play too. We outside. Somebody tell Offset. That's Offset. DM me. He DM me. Nigga DM Cuckoo. He Offset.
Okay, I'm tired of seeing them. I mean, young men out there that's acting like the most ridiculous things ever. Now, let me see here. Now, Lil Wayne did express his feelings on the matter about how he felt about not being the Super Bowl, because he automatically assumed that the Super Bowl position or the performance would be his. And I can understand that. He has lived an entitled life, no matter what he got as far as, well, he has pretty much lived an entitled life, if you think about it. No matter what woman he wanted, he got. Because people forget that he made Laura London a baby mama. People always remember her for being Nipsey Hussle's, I don't think they were married, ex-woman. But first, she was Lil Wayne's baby mama. People don't talk about that too much. I forgot how many kids he said he has. And people talk about Nick Cannon. They really talk about Lil Wayne, how many kids he got. In addition to all the illegal drugs that he does, the brain cells that he lost, the bad influence he put on the youth. So I can't tell you how many people try to imitate Lil Wayne for over a decade at this point. But let's go ahead and hear about how his hurt feelings because he felt entitled, because he got everything he wanted in life. But the one time somebody told him no, he's hurt. But realistically speaking, if we're all going to be honest here, more than likely, Kendrick Lamar is going to find a way to bring Wayne out on stage.
There's your words turn into arms, and it held me up when I try to fall back. That hurt a lot. You know what I'm talking about? It hurt a whole lot. I blame myself for not being mentally prepared for a letdown. And for just automatically mentally putting myself in that position like somebody told me that was my position. So I blame myself for that. But I thought that was nothing, I thought that was nothing better than that spot, and that stage, and that platform in my city. And so it hurt a whole lot. But y'all are fucking amazing. It made me feel like shit not getting this opportunity. And when I felt like shit, you guys reminded me that I ain't shit without y'all. And that's an amazing reality. So, like I said, it broke me, and I'm just trying to put me back together, but my God, have you all helped me. Thanks to all my peers, my friends, my family, my homies on the spot. sports television, everybody repping me. I really appreciate that. I really do. I feel like I let all of y'all down by not getting that opportunity. But I'm working on me, and I'm working. So, thank you.
Okay. Again, I don't feel anything like say that his feelings are hurt. People get disappointed in life all the time. People think they deserve, they should have something, but they don't. They just want to qualify for it. If you stick his resume next to Kendrick's for the last 12 months, of course, Kendrick is going to get the job. Hell, if you put Kendrick's resume next to anybody for the last 12 months, Kendrick's going to beat them out. You can't say Drake because no brand really wants to be associated with a person like Drake who has a lot of PDF file allegations against him. Right? I mean, think about it. Even though, let's say, if the stuff he did was legal or true, depending on where they are, because people forget that, age of consent is different in Canada, and Millie Bobby Brown is European or something like that, so the age of consent is lower there too. And so a lot of the other girls and the allegations there, and the girls that said they went to Drake's parties in Canada, all this other stuff, all these allegations that's out there. Age of consent is much different in those places compared to here. However, though, the optics of it, people are not going to look that deep into it. They're not going to care. They're going to look at it and see, why is there a alleged piece of lover PDF file is out here on the stage? I don't know. I just really, people will get out of nostalgia and think for today. If you want to make the argument that Kendrick performed at the Super Bowl 2 years ago with that whole entire LA, California scene, that's a fair argument to make. Okay. But who else? I mean, if you really think about it, what other New Orleans rapper would really perform at the Super Bowl at a level that would entertain everybody who would really pay $45,000 a seat? And truthfully, I think that was not the most expensive seat there was. That was just the seats they showed on that website. It's just not there. Unfortunately, Lil Wayne suffered from success and no mentorship, and nobody taught him how to grow yourself. Put away the drugs. Get some help. Invest your money into these businesses. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. Let's be real here. Birdman was taking money allegedly from Wayne because he had to settle. I don't think I have that. Let me see here.
Well, back in 2015, Lil Wayne sued Birdman and Cash Money for $51 million. He was trying to get out of his contract as well. He also sued Universal Music for $40 million, saying he was owed royalties for Young Money artists. Well, according to court documents and The Blast, both of those disputes have been settled. It's an undisclosed amount. People are saying it's over $10 million.
Has to be.
It was paid for by Universal and not by Birdman himself.
So he getting his money then?
Yeah, we don't know exactly how much it is. It's undisclosed.
But he's getting it, though.
He's getting something.
Drop on the clues bond for Lil Wayne, man. Happy for him.
Lil Wayne is also free from Cash Money.
Good.
All his future releases will be handled only by Universal. And the Carter 5 will reportedly also be released finally. So there you have it.
I wonder if it was Universal's fault the whole time, though. And Birdman was just getting the blame.
I'm not sure, but now he's no longer part of Cash Money, so maybe Universal paid him out.
Because Universal wouldn't be footing that bill for Birdman, would they?
Well, he's saying that for Universal, that lawsuit was saying that he's owed money for Nicki, Drake, the Young Money artists.
Those are his artists, yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, now, Lil Wayne's lawyer has confirmed that settlement. He did a statement to Billboard. He said he is his own man, a man that owns his assets, his music, and himself. At some point, Wayne will let his fans know what's going to happen next.
But they also said they were able to pay him because they know they will get their money back from all the future artists.
He's gonna put out his music directly through Universal.
Just please don't put out any Lil Twist music, man. I heard Lil Twist diss record to Good Music, and I was like,
Okay, that's enough of that. So, and there's a history of Lil Wayne and Birdman having issues and having fallouts and all this other kind of stuff. So, again, there's no good mentorship that Lil Wayne has ever had. He had a man that used him and allegedly groomed him. Because Birdman would just be broke without Wayne. You have Drake, who stabbed him in the back and slept with his girl. And that's not an alleged there that came out of Wayne's mouth. And then all the allegations that Drake has. You got Nicki Minaj. Yeah, she has been faithful as far as loyalty to Wayne. But however, her personal choices is putting her in a spot to where not too many major brands would really want to mess with her like that, because her husband cannot keep his mouth shut and stay inside the house. But instead, he wants to be a street man out there in the middle of the streets, acting like he's 20 or 19. So, unfortunately, Lil Wayne has done this to himself while he lost this opportunity. The only way he's going to get on that Super Bowl stage is Kendrick Lamar brings him out there brings him up there for the song. Anyways, that's just my opinion of it. I'm done talking. It's kind of late. I got to work in the morning, my real job. So, you guys tell me what you think. If you liked it so far, comment and subscribe. I appreciate it. And thank you again.